Yo, 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 what's up, guys? Today, we're bringing the Necromancer build to you guys. So, there's been some changes to the class this week with a patch, which obviously balanced it. It was way overpowered, it was broken. I mean, doing over 20 billion damage with the corpse explosion. Um, but they toned it down, nerfed it. In my opinion, I think a little too much. I think for a design for the class, I believe the corpse explosions should be able to explode, 2 to 4 corpses at once, which the ability is called sacrifice. Okay, I think it should be doing 2 to 4 mobs, and I believe the damage needs to go back up at least 50%. Because as of right now, there's no reason to take sacrifice. There's no need to corpse explode to sacrifice your pets. And the way the game works is you can only do one at a time. So not really viable if you ask me, especially from all the testing. I would not spec into it. So Wooksy, if you're watching, I think the Necro sacrifice and pet build explosion needs to be reworked, maybe for season 12 and revisited. Anyways, the Necro is able to clear wormhole 500 with the current meta build setup that I put together. It did take a while to get here. It was struggling, okay, but it's still above the white mage. If I had to put these classes in a tier, and as you can see, it killed the boss. This boss though had 16 billion health, but it's still viable. Quick reminder, guys, please don't forget to smash that subscribe button on YouTube. Let's get into Uber. All right, this will be the Uber Damien clear with the Necro. See how he does. Okay. This is what we went for Relics. Not really much um, of choices here. I didn't put too much thought into it, honestly, because of the pets and the explosions, because of the pet auto attacks and the poison and how it works. So I favored, you know, um, energy and the attack speed. I know these have strength, but it will give you toughness as well. You could probably tweak the relics around to get some better min-max damage. As opposed to go for strength, you can go for more attack speed if you want, or more stamina and armor for survivability, because it's very squishy, this class. Okay, but that's it for relics, guys. All right, guys, let's get into the necro meta. Okay, on your action bar, you're going to want expunge toxins, poison barb, undead army to start out with, and I'll explain to you here why, and then poison nova. Your entry into a wormhole, or when you come onto the game and you log in, or after you die and you need to reset your undead army, just make sure you have this skill up. Go to any zone, kill a couple of mobs, okay, and keep spamming your undead army, and then you're gonna have 8. All right, that's it. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Once you have 8, you toggle, right click, remove the undead army, and put on summon frenzy. Okay, this will be your setup in wormholes and farming Inferno 5, etc. This will be your meta setup. Let's dive into the gear. So for the necklace, we chose Pendant of Eternity. All right. For the helm, we chose Harlequin Crest with Poison Element. For the charm, Torch of Shadows. For the weapon, a rune word weapon, Will of Thanos. You need a base, either a staff or a cane with 6 sockets, and at 99% or 100%. And you'll need the Lem, 2 Ists, Val, Rex, and the Lem rune. Okay? in that order, and I'll link you a picture here in the order that it needs to be in order for you guys to craft this rune word. What the ability does, Master Summoner, is allows you to summon a additional minion. Not really that important from all of my tests. Okay, whether you have 6 minions or 8, the damage difference isn't that much, honestly, because we're not going with the corpse explosions. And even if you were, really does not matter how many minions you have, because you can only corpse explode one minion at a time. So you could have 100 minions, you could only explode one, so it doesn't really matter. And then all the tests, it wasn't good. I think Wooxie, as an idea, maybe allow the corpse explosion to explode 4 minions at once. So therefore, using the Will of Thanos, summoning the extra one, having a total of 8, allows you to double dip on the damage, making it relevant. But right now, only being able to explode 1 minion at a time, not worth it. Maybe mess around with 2 minions, 3 minions exploding at once. Anyways, Will of Thanos, because of the massive poison damage, okay? Armor, survivability. You will need survivability on this class. It's very squishy. The massive +4 to all talents, okay? And this will be base at 99 or 100%. And then the Master Summoner for the extra pet. The meta chest is Devil's Cocoon. The gloves, Assassin Mitts. The belt, Monkey Skin Belt. The +3 to all talents is massive. The damage reduction is also huge for this class. It's very squishy. The Demon Eye Ring, Bottle of Sake, and Mevius Mighty Marchers. Alright, because of the flat elemental damage and energy and survivability that you get with the Stam. Don't ask me why. All the tests that we did, the Mevius Mighty Marches yielded more damage across the board. Okay? So go out there and get it. For your follower, absolutely Poison Ivy for the multi-shot. Helmet the Dominator for attack speed with all Dao runes on both items. And the Shroud of Elements with as high as Elemental Break as you can get, 20 being max. And let's dive into the talents. So for the talents, we went with 20 points in Summon Mastery, 20 points in Summon Frenzy, 20 points in Soul Rend for the debuff that it applies to the target, and 20 points in Expunge Toxins. And then the rest, 9 points into Lingering Toxins. Okay? We tried many different setups, especially capping this out was not worth it at all. Just 1 point in it is fine. Also went with this talent. It was decent. I'm trying to remember here. Yeah, we also did these variants for huge burst damage. Maybe starting out, you can go with this, like on Inferno 1 or Hell 5. You can, go in this route here if you want, until you have more gear. And you can take probably the points from here, put it in there, and take the points from your minions, and then put it in here. So I would take 20 points from here, put it in Poison Barb, 20 points from Summon Mastery, and put it in Poison Nova. Just keep 1 point in it so you can go down the tree, obviously. But you could probably do that for Hell 5, Inferno 1. But later on, Wormholes and in-game meta, maxing out your damage. This is the setup. Okay? Hero levels, 50 in Ancient Power, 50 Gut Ripper, and 100 into Infinite Wisdom. And you keep putting points into this. Mercenary, typical build, 30 multi-shot, 30 rapid fire, 30 piercing shots, 6 in scatter shot. So let me get into the depth of how the class works. So much testing, guys, and going back and forth. You do not need to put a point in sacrifice. We are not going to be exploding corpses. Ever since the hotfix, the nerf or balance, as you want to call it, to the Necro this week. Okay, to me, this is not worth it anymore. You can test it yourself if you want, but it wasn't any damage at all. I think it was a little too downscaled, if you ask me. Okay, and like I said before, the corpse explosions and the pets, I think need to. I think you should be able to explode more than one at a time to make having more minions actually relevant. So allow more enemy minions to be exploded at once when you pop sacrifice, and increase the damage on this again because it's not doing any damage at all right now. So I'm sorry that I have a point in here, but take this point out, put it in lingering toxins. Okay? All right, let's get into the depth of the build. So as you're attacking the target, you have your elemental break stacked up there, 2 stacks, 48%. And then you have your soul rend at 5 stacks, 230% damage. What that is this soul rend. Lord of the Dead and his minions attacks have a chance to mark the souls of enemies, dealing increased damage, increases in strength from every stack. So at 5 stacks, it's 230% more damage. Alright, you definitely want that. And then you also have your poison stacks. It's like next to impossible to see. 2 stacks, 62% poison damage. Okay? And then when you expunge it, it deals the damage. Consumes all poison stacks on enemies, dealing the full amount of the damage instantly, as well as dealing bonus damage per poison stack. So essentially you'll be 62% more damage on top of the 130%. So it's what, 192% more damage. Full amount of damage instantly, as well as dealing damage per poison stacks. So take it like you want to take it, but using this and having the poison stacks yielded more damage. That's why it's important. Okay? So your rotation should be, when you're up against the target, you pop your Summon Frenzy to buff your minions, and then you spam, you hold down your right mouse button for Poison Nova, and then cast your Poison Barb, and then your Expunge Toxin. Your Expunge Toxin will be your last, because you have to apply the poison stacks on there. But once you proc it once, before you can cast it again, you will have poisons on the targets. So you really don't have to worry about it too much. You just hold down right mouse button, 2 and 3, and then you just press 1 whenever it comes off a cooldown. And I will be showing you a test result, but I'll do a quick test here for you guys to see how it works. So Bottle of Sake, Frenzy, and then Expunge last. 661 million. Obviously you can reach higher numbers. I've reached 1.2 billion with it. It is sort of proc based a little bit, not as much as other classes like the Paladin, I would say, but it does good damage, and it obviously can clear 500. So this is the part of the video where we do a damage test. This is the meta build setup damage test. The damage range was between 600 million to 1.2 billion. The highest damage I hit was 1.2 billion. I would say the average damage is between 700 million to 850 million. Here's another variant that I'll explain here in a little bit. But what I wanted to say is the Necromancer is a pretty good class. And the damage with the gear variables is pretty consistent, between 150 million to 250 million. So with this variant, I went with the Ritual Pendant, the Death Lord's Crown, Death Lord's Zombie Head, Death Lord's Bone Armor, which gives a 3-piece set bonus for Army of the Dead, the Iris, Conjurer Mitts, Assassin's Belt, Demon Eye Ring, Bottle of Sake, and the Wasteland Greaves. This is the third variable, but I'll leave you guys some in-depth explanation on variables and gear options that you can pursue while going for the meta build and end game. So stay tuned for you, so you can understand a little bit more how to gear your class and what to acquire before meta. So with this gear variant, I went with the Raven's Claw. Dust Lord Crown, the Rainbow, Rays of the Dead, Death Lord Bone Armor, the Viper Hands, Assassin's Belt, Demon Eye Ring, Bottle of Sake, Wasteland Greaves. Keep in mind, you can use any of these boots, Assassins, Mevias. You can use any of the belts, Belt of Skulls, Monkey Skin, which Monkey Skin is the meta. You can use Assassin's Mitts, Breach Gauntlets, Conjurer Mitts that has poison on it. You can use Devil's Cocoon for the chest. Anything you really want. Harlequin Crest, which is meta. It's not worth using the Scholar unless you have one already. Alright? And you can use any of these charms if you get a hold of it. Same thing with the neck piece. And then with the weapon, the dagger, with the offhand shield, with the Plague Aegis, also works. Alright? So these are all different variants. I'm showing you guys this so that way you have multiple different options to use as opposed to just the expensive meta sockets. Alright? Obviously it won't yield as much damage if it's not put together exactly as the meta build, but you'll still be able to do Inferno 5 farming with no issues. You know, so enjoy the class. Alright fellas, there you have it for the Necromancer Toxic Scourge meta build. That's what we're coining it. Alright, because we're casting a bunch of Poison Nova, we're casting Poison Barb, and once all the poison stacks are on the target, we're expunging it, okay, with the toxins, and we are applying the frenzy buff to our Scourge, to our undead army, to deal massive damage. Okay? So Necromancer Toxic Scourge meta build. And that's what we're rolling with. I think the Necro is a pretty good class. I think it definitely needs to be, you know, it needs to be shown some love in Season 12. And maybe have a little, you know, a couple of the talents redone, like the sacrifice talent and how many, you know, undead minions you can explode at once, and it will put the class in a really good place. But as of right now, it's still a very fun class to play, really viable, can still clear Wormhole 500, and it can compete with the other classes as well. So play what you like to play what you relate to the most, and enjoy it. Every class is really unique, it flows differently, and yeah, go out there and get it, boys. And there it is, 1.2 billion. Class is really good. I hope you guys like it. Thank you very much, guys, for all the support. Please don't forget to comment, like, and smash that subscribe button. I haven't been streaming the last couple of days too much because I'm trying to get this content out to you guys, trying to test all the classes before November 23rd. So I'm out here grinding. That's why I'm not streaming. But please continue to show me support. As I'm recording the videos and testing on Streamlabs OBS, I constantly hear the follow notification go off, so I thank you guys very much for that. It means a lot to me. There's nothing better than when I'm putting in work for you guys and I hear the notification go out, you know, that somebody has followed on Twitch as well as on YouTube and subscribed on YouTube. So thank you very much, guys. I appreciate it all. Until next time, roll deep. Woo!